Okay, so the KC Cup Stage 1 is going on right now, and as you probably already know, I am a massive Crystron fan, and because we just got 10 support, I thought we might as well try to make Crystrons good by playing 10 with Crystrons. And you might be able to notice that we aren't playing any Crystron tuners in this deck. The only tuner that we're playing is at Hara. That's because our main goal in this deck is to not make Synchro monsters, we are going to make Link monsters, because if you played Crystrons, you know that Crystrons are not only good at making Synchro monsters, they're really good at making material on board to use for Link summoning as well. We have a small advantage loop by having Sylphifnir to discard a card like Fistburn to summon something like a Smiger, and then Crystron, Fistburn, and Smiger could banish themselves from the graveyard to add more cards to your hand, so you can do that thing again next turn. And Rosenex is good because it gives us a free token to use as a link material. Turtle is good because it gives us a free summon for an additional material. So yeah, this deck aims to basically put up a whole bunch of materials on field to not only make the 10-yi links, but also to make generic links like the Nightmares and Rasterliger. Because one of the biggest problems with 10-yis in general is that you need a non-effector monster to actually special summon themselves, and also your main way of summoning from your deck, which is Ashana, locks you into worms, so you can't really have a good way to summon generic links like the Nightmares. But we could solve this issue by having Crystrons basically as a secondary engine to give us more materials without needing to locking ourselves to 10-yis or worms. So we can still make materials on board and make generic links, which are pretty good. And also Crystrons gives us a lot of discard fodder for Nightmares, because a lot of Crystron monsters search by banishing themselves from the graveyard, so we always have stuff for Nightmares to discard. And yeah, those two archetypes work pretty well with each other, and also Rosenix gives you a token, which is non-effect. Yeah, Rosenix does give you a token, and you can use that for a Link summon. So yeah, that's basically it for the deck. And hopefully, we're going to be able to continue to show our opponent that Berserker is truly the strongest, if you get what the reference is. Oh wow, we actually got Scrap Recycler this time. It's pretty good. And we have a card for Sylphifnir to discard. And we also got Ashana plus Vessel. That's actually a pretty good hand. Okay, it is 1 Dingirsu plus 1 back row. We should be able to do this. I think. Let's special summon Ashana. And then we were gonna mill Vishada with the Dispel and then bounce back our opponent's back row first. And then we can worry about his Dingirsu. Oh, never mind. He's just gonna Warning Point. Okay, that messes things up a tiny bit, but it shouldn't be a big problem. We're gonna... Do we... Yeah, let's use Scrap Recycler now. We should be able to OTK. What does he have in his graveyard? He has a Symbol Skeleton. Okay, so... Yeah, okay. We should be able to do this. We're gonna... discard the Rosenix. Summon itself. We could pop the Ashana, but we kinda don't want to do that because we want to summon a Crystron from deck, and that's going to be a Fistburn. And that's going to be pretty useful to just grab more cards in our hand. And then we're going to make ourselves the Nightmare Phoenix. And we're not going to pop this because he could just detach one and it's not going to do anything. So we're not going to activate Nightmare Phoenix. And then this time we're going to be smart and actually use the effect of Rosenix to make a token first, and then use that token to make unicorn. And then we're gonna grab a copy of Smiger. And now, because we have a non-effective monster, I think we could activate a copy of Vessel to send a copy of his Shudder to the graveyard. And then add a 10 to our hand. So what are we adding actually? We are going to add, let's add Adhara. Yeah, let's get Adhara. And then we're gonna, let's see, we could bounce it right now. Yeah, let's bounce it right now. We're gonna use Vishada's effect. We're gonna bounce the Babel, I think. Yeah, let's bounce the Babel. And then we make the Nightmare Unicorn. Using these two, I think that should work. Maybe. No, but if I do that, I don't have enough for lethal. Is there a way for me to get lethal this turn? I don't think there is. Let's make unicorn. And then we're gonna discard Smiger, return that back to the deck, and then Smiger effect, grab another impact. And if we had one more material, we could go for an OTK, but we sadly do not have one more material because he warning pointed our monster. So I guess we're just gonna set to an attack. Go. He's just gonna go to battle. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, graveyard check. He has nothing in his graveyard. That is pretty good. We're not gonna activate impact yet because if we activate impact, that means we have a effect monster on our field. So before we activate impact, we kind of want to do all the special summoning from our hand with our tennies first, and then we're gonna activate impact to actually summon our Crystrons. So we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna make that, and then we're gonna turn that into a non-effective monster by making our monk. And then we could activate our spell and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, graveyard check. What do we have in our graveyard? We have a Shana and a Adhara. Okay, it looks pretty good. We could Adhara to grab back a Vishada. We don't even need to use the Crystron stuff, which is pretty funny. And then we can Vishada summon itself. And then we could Ashana effect. Summon Adhara from deck. Adhara. And then we do have a lot more than lethal, so that's pretty good. Draco Berserker. We're gonna use our effect of Vishada. You bounce back that thing. Girsu, not that it matters. We can just attack his monster and we win because of battle damage, but I mean we could, so why wouldn't we? We're gonna send the Washer one because why not? Grab. Let's see what we have in our graveyard. We have that, so let's grab the Shana. Okay, let's go to battle and we just attack and win. That's it. We win. Just like that. Easy. Okay, we're actually leveling up this time, and our opponent's playing Toons, I think. Yeah, they're playing Toons. It's fine, because we are going to gain a whole bunch of life points, so he can't really OTK us, so to say. And the Shudder's really good against Toon Kingdom, but I don't think he is going to even activate Toon Kingdom this turn, which is even nicer. If he's just setting free, I don't think he could do a lot, because the Toon traps, the Toon briefcase needs him to have actually a Toon monster on field. But if he's setting monsters, I don't think he could activate that. So we're going to just do a bit of comboing. We're going to do some 10-y maneuvers. He could OTK if he has Toon rollback, yes, but he needs a lot of setup for that. And if we gain life points, he couldn't Toon rollback OTK with Dark Magician Girl. He needs to Toon rollback on BLS and then have another Dark Magician Girl to attack directly to OTK. Otherwise, if he uses any other monster, he needs to wait a turn, because they can't attack the turn they're summoned. And because after we gain life points, we have 7,000, I don't think there's a lot of things he can do to win in one turn. And he's going first, so there's not a lot of things he can do. I guess we just make Berserker, right? Berserker. A warning point. Yeah, I'd expect him to activate something. I will gain 1,000 life points just because I won't be OTK'd by Dark Magician Girl Toon rollback. And then I'm gonna save my Visheda. And I'm just gonna attack. And hope that he has a lower defense than 1,000. No way he's playing this. Absolutely no way. Why is he playing this in Toons? Is he even playing Toons? Not that it matters, we just negate that. Oh. What D level is this? It's 14. He's playing good traps. He's playing warning points and compos. And then he whips out a penguin soldier. And he is actually playing Toons, so he's not playing unrelated stuff. He is actually playing Toons. Is he trying to OTK? You know he can't do that. He doesn't even have a Toon World. He doesn't have a Toon World. He can't even attack directly. Oh wait, he could. Toon Magician Damage Go could, but the other Toon couldn't. What is he doing? Okay, let's bounce back one of his stuff. We're gonna bounce back the Damaging Girl, because that's harder to summon. No, actually, it's the exact same, but I don't want him to get back his Toon Magician. Get to 19 so I can try to snipe you. Well, it's gonna take a while. We're still in 14, so you have to be a bit patient if you want to snipe me. There is a whole bunch of things we can do with these things in our hand. I think we're just going to go for the standard Crystron OTK route that we're gonna do. So we're gonna do that. Token, summon from our Rosenix. Then make Unicorn. Using a token plus the 10 Yi. And then Unicorn effect, discard the Self-F, return the Dark Magician back to the deck, and then we make Raster Liger. And then Fist Friend effect, grab Smiger for next turn. And that's Smiger, I guess, because we could Raster Liger effect, gain attack of Nightmare Unicorn, and then we just attack directly and win. That's it. That's a combo. We can also destroy one more card if we could, if he has one more card, because we can tribute our monster using Raster Liger and pop a card. Oh, we actually didn't get a lot of 10 stuff this time. But it's okay. It is okay. Because we still have our spell, and this single spell will give us access to our entire 10 engine. And I'll show you how. First of all, we're gonna do a bit of Crystron comboing. And we're not going to actually make any synchro monsters, so we're just gonna summon a whole bunch of stuff to get monsters on our field. And then we're gonna summon, and this is how we're gonna have access to our 10 stuff. We're gonna summon Rosenix. And Rosenix has a special thing that it can do. It not only gives us a free monster to link summon with, it is also a non-effect monster. And you could probably tell where this is going. We're gonna make a random link, it doesn't really matter. Nightmare Phoenix is the only thing we could make. And then we're gonna activate our Rosenix to summon a token on our field. And then we're gonna activate our spell. And because we have a non-effect monster, we not only get to send a monster to our graveyard, we also get to add a monster to our hand. Okay, let me think about what we are sending to the graveyard. He's playing Gimmick Puppet. Okay, let's send the target negate. And then we add a copy of Ashana, I think. Yeah, okay, let's do that. And then we are going to make a Berserker. So as you can see, we don't even need to use 10 Ys to make Berserker. We just use Crystrons, and it's gonna be enough to make Berserker. And because we have the spell, we still have access to our 10 engine, plus a negate in our graveyard. And then, we're not done yet. We could also activate the effect of Smiger to grab ourselves a Impact. And Impact is going to be useful during our next turn to give us one more material to make a Link Summon. And before we end turn, of course, we need to activate our skill to gain some life points. I'm going to end turn. I could also summon the Ashana, but I like to keep it in my hand. Because I can't really do a lot with an Ashana on field. He's drawn more than half of his deck. Well, I guess I'm dead now, right? I'm just dead. If he's already so far into his combo, it's gonna be a bit disrespectful for me to just scoop at the very end. So let's let him have it. We're gonna allow him to deal the final blow. Yeah, do it. It didn't appear in chat, but I managed to find it anyway. Anyway, let's assess our opponent's board. They have a pop plus 2 back row. Let's open with 10 I think the main plan is to always open with 10 And then yeah, we just make monk and then activate the spell. And then we're gonna use Vishada to force his fusion out. Oh, it's Crackdown. That's also fine. Okay, it's time for plan B. We're gonna use... I'll scrap Recycler. And then, we're gonna send Fistfern, Self-Engineer. Because we already have Fistfern. And good luck to our opponent for popping the correct card, because we're just gonna keep spamming material on the field, and he really has to be smart on what he's using his disruptions on. We're gonna make a Rose Nyx. Is it possible to play Trickstar without all those staples? If you're playing Trickstars, the only thing you need is probably Darkhole and White Princess. And the other staples are not that important in comparison. For the other staples, you just basically play whatever you have. You can play Needle Sealing if you have it. It's fine if you don't. A brainless person tries to read Crystrons. Yeah, one advantage of playing Crystrons is just that most of the time your opponent doesn't know what you're doing. Especially when you're playing a hybrid deck with Crystrons. They just have absolutely no clue on what you're trying to do. We're gonna pop his back row. I don't think our opponent has any clue what we're trying to do. It's a Cosmic. We're gonna use Rose Nyx to grab a token. And then he's gonna realize that I'm not playing Crystrons in Tenyi because I just like Crystrons. It's because they actually have synergy with each other. And here it is. We can activate a copy of a Vessel while we have a token on field, and a token is a non-effect monster. So what we could do is we can mill Vishada and grab ourselves Ashana. Let's grab Ashana. And then we're gonna bounce his fusion. He actually doesn't respond. That is perfect. Wonderful. Let's bounce back his fusion. Goodbye to your fusion. He's gonna probably pop my Phoenix. But that is okay. That is completely fine. Because now we are basically free to do whatever we want. We're gonna use that Hara to grab back the Vishada. And we are able to make a Berserker. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna special summon the Ashana. And then we're gonna make it a Link 1. Yeah, that's why you definitely need multiple copies of the Link 1. Because you are going to make multiple of them in the same turn. And then you can probably see where this is going. If you're somewhat familiar with Tenyis at all, Oh, does he realize that he's gonna lose, or does he just give up after watching me combo off for 5 minutes? Oh, he's not actually gone. Okay, we're gonna make our boy Berserker of the Tenyi. And it's still turn 2, by the way. It's just a very long turn 2. And we do not have a single staple in our deck, but we are still able to play through our opponent's back row plus diffusion. And we still have 2 set back row just because we could. We can activate our skill as well to just gain a bit of life points back. There we go. And then we just go to battle. We're going to battle our opponent's effect monster. So we can activate the special ability of a Draco Berserker, and we can attack again. That's lethal. And GG's. Imagine playing staples.